Okay, Rachel's gone. I don't want any bullshit. You're telling me that no matter what we do, Rachel's getting into the bar.
What I'm telling you is, if she doesn't get in, that asshole isn't gonna be the one that stopped her.
Okay, I'm in. What do we have to do?
I told you what we need to do. We need to make a dent in Velocity Data's stock.
Harvey, that's no joke. Do you realize how much we're gonna have to sue them for to make their earnings take a hit?
You're damn right I do. They're a huge company, which means it's gotta be something huge.
I don't even know if that matters. No matter what we sue them for, they're just gonna want to settle.
I know that, which means we need to insist on an admission of guilt.
I get it. You want me to run this whole thing through the clinic?
It's the only way to make it look legitimate.
Harvey, I don't know if I can convince Nathan to do that.
Well, you better, because if anyone figures out that we're doing this for personal gain, your chance of getting into the bar is gone.
You're the whole team?
Seems fair. There's only one of you.
I'm not an attorney, Mr. Ross. I'm CEO.
Then you must be serious. Why don't you give me a number?
You want a number? 0. Because I'm not going to be shaken down by the likes of you.
This isn't a shakedown, Mr. Palmer. Those men are dying from conditions that your company knew about.
Those men signed non-disclosure agreements. And if they break them, we can come after them for every penny they got.
And I've got a way to bust every damn one of those agreements.
No way. Those things are airtight.
Airtight doesn't apply when signed under duress, which is exactly what dying of lung cancer and not being able to afford a doctor is.
Well, good luck making that argument 1,000 times, because I'm going to fight each and every one of them to my dying breath.
Can't do that through a class.
I can, and I will. And you move forward with this, I'm going to bury that whole legal clinic of yours in so much paperwork, you're going to choke to death.
So you just called me down here to tell me no to my face?
I called you down here to show you that if you pursue this action, those men are going to be left with nothing. And so are you.
It's a hell of a strategy. But I guess you didn't get the memo that my co-counsel on this is Harvey Specter lit.
Bullshit. Their name's not on any one of these documents.
Because they wanted to keep a low profile. But go ahead, pick up the phone. I'll call them myself.
And I guess I'll see you and your big law firm in court. Because like I said, I'm not going to be shaken down by the likes of you.
This writing his first album? You sure Harvey won't mind if I take it out?
Are you kidding me? No, he says if that collection's not for everyone, then what's the point of even having it here?
Sounds like a great guy.
The best. Gandhi, Harvey.
You serious?
Hand to God. Man's practically a saint.
What's going on?
Oliver, Harvey Specter. Harvey Specter, Oliver.
Nice to meet you, Oliver. Would you like me to pour you a drink?
Would you?
No, I wouldn't. Now, put that down, get out of my office, and if I ever catch you touching one of my things again, I'll shove it up your ass.
Is he serious?
Oh, not about the ass part, but I'd put it back.
You set me up.
Mm-hmm. Welcome to Harvey Specter Lit.
You enjoy that?
Yeah, it felt okay.
Good. Now, why don't you go make sure everyone knows exactly what they're doing. It's 9 p.m., the clock's ticking in. We gotta get this thing done.
And what are you gonna do?
I'm gonna figure out what we're gonna say to that Velocity son of a bitch when he walks in here tomorrow begging for a settlement.
I assume from the fact that you called, you got our Christmas present.
I didn't call you. I called Harvey Specter.
Well, he called me. I wanted to come have a little chat with you before you got it into your head that you could go behind my back and cut a deal without an admission of guilt.
What?
Look, I don't give a shit how much you offered. You're not gonna buy your way out of this thing without telling the world what you did.
I don't think you understand what the word settlement means.
I understand what it means to you. Just don't give a shit.
100 million.
With an admission of guilt, sure. Where do I sign?
Listen to me. $100 million is the biggest payout this company's ever made.
No, it's not, because I'm not taking it.
What is wrong with you? I'm willing to cut your clients a check that'll change their lives, and you're too stupid to see it.
Here's what I see. Every day this case drags on, your stock is gonna take a hit. And every quarter when the board meets, that's gonna be their first question and your biggest goddamn headache. So, the real question is, are you ready to take responsibility for what you did, or not?
I see you wore your power suit for your return to the majors.
You're gonna play in Yankee Stadium, you gotta wear the pinstripes.
How'd it go?
Good. He did exactly what we thought he would. Tried to lowball me, called me an idiot, and then kicked me out.
How high do you go?
100 million. What?
Nothing. It's just I would have gotten him up to 2.
And how exactly would you have done that when you told me not to counter?
I'm more intimidating. I walk into a room, people cave. It's a gift.
I think it's a gift when you leave the room.
My gift to you was saving your ass when you screwed the pooch by involving me in this case.
Seriously, Harvey, I appreciate you rolling with this thing, especially when I had to improvise.
Don't worry about it. The truth is, I like getting the chance to work with you again. Besides, don't tell Rachel. I like the added risk.
Oh, I know.
How do you know?
Because you told me. Life's like this, but I like this.
What am I, Luke Perry?
Sometimes.
Look, I gotta go, because this asshole is gonna be back in my office in an hour trying to cut a deal with me behind your back.
If you're gonna bankroll a suit, at least have the balls to negotiate it yourself.
I take it you didn't like the offer.
Admission of guilt isn't an offer, it's suicide.
It's Mike Ross's case. It's his call.
Bullshit. Mike Ross is some clinic worker. You're Harvey Specter, and from what I hear about you, you don't give a shit about guilt.
You're right, I don't.
So, why don't you tell me how much it's gonna take to make this go away?
$500 million.
$500 million, are you insane?
You poisoned your employees, Mr. Palmer. You're lucky you're not in prison.
200 million.
No.
300.
No.
Okay. Make it 350 and call it a day.
500, not a penny less.
In that case, make it 0. Because you just confirmed what I suspected since this morning. You picked the exact number to make my stock take a nosedive, and we both know who benefits from that. Craig Seidel.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Then I guess you also don't know that Mike Ross just got an appointment with the ethics board, and it's a crime to trade this for that. Which means your lawsuit is over.
Then I'll do something else. You think I won't go after you for stealing technology from Seidel's company?
You have no proof I did anything.
No, but he does. And I don't give a shit about his marriage. And I'm gonna make him come forward.
His marriage. Is that what he told you this is about? Well, I've got news for you, Mr. Specter. The reason he hasn't come forward has nothing to do with his marriage. So why don't you go find out what's what? And I got a feeling when you do, you'll drop this case by morning.
Jesus Christ, what are you doing here? You guys told me to stay away from you.
Yeah, that was before I had a chat with your buddy, James Palmer.
Look, I don't even know James Palmer, so whatever he said...
You didn't have to say anything. All you had to do was point.
So what, this is an offshore account in my name?
An offshore account with $300,000 in it, deposited exactly a day after Velocity supposedly stole your technology.
I was told by my accountant to shelter certain earnings.
Bullshit. You don't even have those kind of earnings. And you didn't have to keep this quiet because you're married. You kept it quiet because you're in on it.
I was in on it. I saw a chance to jump ship and get paid in the process, but instead they pulled the job and put just enough money in that account to implicate me.
You piece of shit.
Please, my employees are gonna lose their jobs because of me. We need to keep this suit going and get that technology back.
Nah, buddy. You don't give a shit about your employees, and I don't give a shit about you. This deal's done.
You can't do this.
Yes, I can, and I didn't have leverage before, but I do now. So you're not just getting Mike an interview. You're gonna block anyone who tries to vote no, and if you don't, your boss is gonna get an anonymous tip that you sold trade secrets, and I'm gonna make sure to send this along with it.
You're my attorney. You work for me. You can't do that.
I don't work for you, remember, Craig? That's how I set it up. See you at the bar.